Game number 2 is going to be getting underway. We're going to see if Show's made any drastic adjustments to it. Again, this is a little bit unfamiliar territory with him so far. Powder's got to be feeling great to get game number 1 on the board versus someone who is 7-1 in HPL.
Yeah, are we going to see number 1 go down tonight? Powder's got a good chance at it winning game 1.
Sort of the big factor for me in this one too is that Show, you know, it's not that he has never lost a game 1 before. It's that this format is so very different because when people have momentum on their sides, we've seen different approaches from it. Like Show typically with his Hunter games has been putting this pressure on people when he's ahead in the series, not when he's behind.
And you can look at this opening hand for Powder. It looks like he switched over to Tempo Mage. Not the biggest fan of this hand against Hunter.
This is a story we've seen from Tempo Mage a lot too. You know, when it has this fistful of burn very early on, it doesn't have a lot of utility and it just falls out of the game. This could very easily be the case. I mean, Show's hand looked fantastic. We'll get his point of view up for you as soon as we can. This looks like turn 1 Mad Scientist though.
Yeah, turn 1 Mad Scientist just great at all times in all matchups. And you see a Leper Gnome, a Haunted Creeper, and a Freezing Trap behind the Show is just firing on all cylinders.
Perfect card from Powder. That's exactly what he needed to stay in this game. And he's going to have to continue to pick up stuff like this. You know, he has answers to what's going on, but these are burn spells he wants to use to finish the game too, because this deck doesn't have a ton of top-end action.
Yeah, it usually only has like 1 or 2 pieces of top end, and from there you see things like, you know, Dr. Boom like he just drew. But again, you usually don't want to be using things like Frostbolt and Fireball as removal spells if you can avoid it.
Yeah, this is really, this is the top end of the deck right now. Dr. Boom, maybe a Ragnaros, you know, maybe an Emperor Thaurissan or something, but it doesn't have the same kinds of pushes that you're seeing from a lot of the other mage decks.
Yeah, not at all. Sometimes you might have something like Archmage Antonidas, depending on, like, you know, if they have spare parts in their deck of any kind. Sometimes you see like Mechanical Yeti, you know, because the 4 slot is usually the slot that has a problem. You only have Fireball there often, and they, you know, need something to fill that slot. But this is where you're going to see the difference. Show is going to put a lot of pressure on Powder in this game and make him react. And his hand is reactive, but not super great at doing that going forward.
Yeah, just going to be Sorcerer's Apprentice this turn and hope that he can get through this, but he's facing on the trap. Wow, even going to Frostbolt Show right now.
Yeah, I don't hate this play. It's just a preemptive play from Powder here because he doesn't want to lose his Apprentice to a weapon.
Wow, Show actually picks up Animal Companion and is having some second thoughts about how you can see the trap is Freezing Trap. You notice that the one in his hand isn't highlighted right now. It means he can't play it. If he can't play it, it has to be Freezing Trap down. But he drew this Animal Companion and he was thinking about the Leper Gnome anyway. I can't imagine a world where Animal Companion ain't the play here.
Yeah, you know, he's just taking his time, weighing his options, and you're gonna see him actually trade here and, you know, add power to the board by doing this.
Yeah, and we also got word here that this secret is not Mirror Entity from Powder. I don't know what this is.
Interesting. If it's not Mirror Entity, then maybe it's like Duplicate?
Oh, wow. What a draw from Show. This turn is a little bit slow, but he has the Freezing Trap to make up for that fact. Oh, I'm sorry. I am completely moronic. The Animal Companion doesn't summon a minion the same way. That is, I feel ridiculous right now. Just gonna Hero Power instead. So actually a great turn from Show because he gets to pop the Mirror Entity with a Leper Gnome.
Yeah, that must be what he was considering, you know, the turn before. He just wanted to be able to get that off. Now this is going to be a great turn here from Powder. This Flame Waker into the Unstable Portal. Going to be able to hopefully clean up both these minions for him here. Even picks up a Shadow Boxer here, another thing that he can play for free.
Yeah, not going to get much value from it. Mages don't typically heal.
Yeah, there's usually no way they could actually heal.
Loatheb. Going to be the play from Show, though, and he's got to be feeling pretty good about it. It's going to shut off anything like Fireball. It's going to shut off Frostbolt. This is a big minion to contest the board right now, and Powder's play is Mana Worm and Hero Power on turn 6.
Yeah, this is the problem of the deck. We talked about this. You could see this coming ahead of time, and this Freezing Trap is even going to set him back more this turn if he wants to. He could play Shadow Boxer and Mana Worm, but then he can't use his Hero Power this turn as well, and Show just really the driver's seat here.
The bigger story is that this Flame Waker is going to get picked off, and Show's going to add Savannah Highmane to the board, and both of these guys are at 23 right now.
Yeah, Powder does have a Dr. Boom behind this, but again, he is very far behind.
Yeah, not a comfortable position.
Oh, that wasn't a bad draw here. He can Azure Drake plus Frostbolt this turn if he wants to.
It looks like Azure Drake's gonna be first. Wow, that one was okay.
This opens up a world of options for Powder here.
I'm still curious if this is actually just better than Frostbolt in this situation, though. This looks, I mean, he's gonna have to start racing at this point. He doesn't have an option.
You know, keeping the Frostbolt in his hand, it is a targeted spell, so he can go upstairs with it if he needs to. So maybe he's considering that, like, if it does come down to a pure race from this moment, maybe the Frostbolt tips it in his favor that he could either get in the 3 damage he needs to finish Show or freeze a weapon to win a race later in the game. Yeah. So maybe the flexibility going forward that he's looking for there.
Show's hand is just looking fantastic, though. He has so many ways to start handling this pressure. He's seen a Fireball. He's seen a Frostbolt. You know, what more is he fearing, really?
I mean, there's only 2 cards left in Powder's hand. And, you know, he didn't play Dr. Boom last turn, but his turn was still really good. But, you know, Powder's hand is actually pretty good going forward from here if he doesn't get, you know, utterly destroyed this turn. But this turn looks great for Show. He's going to be able to add, you know, Knife Juggler and a Freezing Trap, just tempo Powder out of the game from here.
This is just ugly for Powder. I mean, again, he has Dr. Boom in this position, but Show has got a Savannah Highmane on board and a Freezing Trap right now. You're not able to effectively deal with these weapons from him. It just, this game is very likely to just snowball from here.
Yeah, I mean, Show's going to be able to really leverage this game going forward.
Yeah, he's going to pop this Freezing Trap with Shadow Boxer, but he's kind of a sitting duck right now. He's got to hope that these juggles work out majorly in his favor.
Yeah, you're going to see Show get the attacks out of the way now, just in case, you know, this juggle goes bad.
7, 8, 9. Show doesn't open himself up to really much potential here either. I mean, the fact that a Fireball and a Frostbolt coupled with a Hero Power will kill him, that's really it right now. I mean, Powder had to draw perfect this turn. I actually like that Show took that risk here because now Powder's in a position where he can't just push and then put Show in a comfortable spot with, say, just a Frostbolt. He had to have it this turn.
Yeah, and not just that. If he does start to trade here this turn, he starts to open backdoor outs with things like Flame Strike.
Yeah, that's always a big possibility. I'm curious to see exactly how these Boombots land. That's the first one. It's not very good. The second one is okay, but how does he stop this much damage?
8, 9, 10. Yeah, I mean,
7 coming in, and then he's going to be able to Frostbolt this Savannah Highmane as well.
He's going to be able to Frostbolt the Savannah Highmane and hope that Show can't kill him from here. And we see that as of right this moment, he can't.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. He's only got 8, 9, 10 points of damage. So this actually could be a trade turn that we're looking at from Show now.
Yeah, and does Show have any secrets left in his deck?
Oh, that's a good point. He's actually used both Freezing Traps.
If he doesn't have another secret left in his deck, you know, this Mad Scientist might not be able to affect this game the way that he wants to. Powder might have found a line that get him back in this game.
Now we're going to see exactly how Show tackles this. I mean, is he fearing burn spells at this point now that he's seen 3 of them now?
I mean, you can't play around them anyway. There's nothing you can do. If he has them, you're probably going to lose anyway. So I don't think you could, you know, play around those cards at this time.
Yeah. We're going to see exactly how Show wants to take this on. One of these, there has to be some trades made here. No question about it. But where does he trade?
This is going to allow him to get some extra damage, and using the Abusing Sergeant to trade up here on the Azure Drake and then take care of this Mad Scientist. Oh, he does have a secret left there, which might be Explosive Trap.
4 damage going on to Powder now. Powder needs to draw a burn spell in this spot. Show actually looks like he's going to trade into this Mad Scientist. Yep, he's going to do that. Has no minions to cast, so I mean, you know, the secret isn't a big fear. Archmage has no way to trigger this turn, and Powder, you know, doesn't have the burn spell. I think that this game just ended.
Yeah, it looks like Show's going to be able to take this one home from here.
I like that Powder turned up the heat in this one, though. I think this is definitely a possibility for him to win the game, is if Show had to play very defensively in this one. It looks like that's got to be Snake Trap then.
Yeah, I like the attack from Powder here. Get the extra information, at least if you can, and try to figure out what this trap is going forward, because there's a good chance Show's just going to queue up Hunter again.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to fend off this pressure, though, and Show going to take this game number 2 and tie this series up at 1 game apiece.
Yeah, look at Show. He's even going to attack in the right way just in case this is Ice Block.
Puts him down to the lowest life total possible. Beautiful performance from Show in this one. Actually, I wonder if he was a little bit nervous that this was Ice Block towards the end.
You saw him wipe his forehead there at the end, kind of like, you know, like, thank God.